Here to help you improve macro enterprises. In this presentation, you will hear about many different aspects of macro enterprises. The goal is to help improve the performance of macro enterprises. In order to do this, we need to make sure human resources become a part of strategic partners. Human resources needs to be a strategic partner because it will help both the culture of macro enterprises as well as the leadership inside macro enterprises. First, macro enterprises needs to address problems in its culture. The best thing to do is understand what these problems are before trying to fix them. After collecting data, there is an evident lack of pride in the workplace. This is easily overlooked by management, but it is very important to how the employees perceive the company. At this moment, company perception is unfavorable. Macro enterprises should want employees to be proud to work there. One is able to tell the lack of pride in a number of different ways. The first sign is through the dress of the employees. To have some members of the organization casually dressed and others professionally dressed is going to create problems. Next, for the kitchen area of the multi-purpose room, to have notes tacked up asking people to pick up after themselves, clean dishes, throw trash in the correct bins, that's unacceptable. Also, pride is shown in menial tasks such as picking up after yourself in the bathroom. With paper towels being on the floor, it is shown that there is a lack of pride. The last way lack of pride is shown comes from the leadership, allowing the multi-purpose room to have subpar furniture in it. Old and worn is not something that macro enterprises should strive for. Another issue in the culture is respect. I will combine this with the difficulties integrating Rockford and Florida employees because they stem from the same place. Anytime you have a new group of people coming together and interacting, there are bound to be troubles. Bringing together employees from Rockford, Illinois and Florida is no different. Florida employees feel they are second-rate employees, while Rockford employees feel threatened with the new employees. Both sets call the others by a slang term. Employees from Florida plant call those who are originally from the Illinois plant ORs for Old Rockfords, while those originally from the Rockford plant call Florida employees Fs. This is a major issue for macro enterprises. Another way respect is shown to be an issue is from an interview with a manager who said, "No one trusts each other anymore." In order to have respect, there must be a certain level of trust with the employees. There also needs to be trust with the employees and their managers. Having diversity is not a culture problem, but it could turn into a legal one if macro enterprise is not careful. Having a bathroom for men but not women is a problem. It either means there aren't enough women working, or it's a discrimination issue. Diversity seems to be an issue on breaks too. Having two tables of men segregated by choice is not something a company should be proud of. Employees should feel comfortable sitting with coworkers of all backgrounds. An interview with the second shift worker said that whenever an employee from a Florida plant gets put on the first shift, they request to be shifted back to the first shift because of racist attitudes of the original Rockfords. Racist attitudes do not help the diversity issue. The last problem in culture is through the orientation process. There seems to be confusion about how employees should be trained, how interactions should be between men and machine, and how to file concerns throughout the company. And next, we have solutions to these problems. The bullet points may be obvious. What's not obvious is how to fulfill these points. First, building pride is not easy, but it is essential. We want employees to have great perceptions about macro enterprises. One way of doing this is creating a new vision, mission, and core values. This should be done through the collaboration of employees and management. There should be a logo that intertwines the culture of Florida with Rockford's. The mission statement should be on a board in the multi-purpose room. Hello, Pat. My name is Blake Beamer, and I'm here to help you improve macro enterprises. In this presentation, you will hear about many different aspects of macro enterprises. The goal is to help improve the performance of macro enterprises. In order to do this, we need to make sure human resources become a part of strategic partners. Human resources needs to be a strategic partner because it will help both the culture of macro enterprises as well as the leadership inside macro enterprises. Use their dress. This creates problems because it creates a feeling of resentment from those dressed professionally as opposed to those casually dressed. Another aspect of pride is menial tasks talked about earlier. Everyone should do their part. There should be no need for signs in the kitchen asking for people to pick up after themselves. Every week we're going to assign 2 people to clean up both the kitchen and the bathroom. People will change every week and they'll work in pairs. They will be required to clean their respective places daily. The goal will be to have their other employees start to pull their weight and make it cleaner for their coworkers once it's their time to clean. Finally, macro enterprises should invest in their employees to build pride. The multi-purpose room should be seen as a place that employees want to go. The furniture being old and worn is unacceptable. Macro Enterprises needs to buy new furniture and be sure to put the company logo or value up on walls to liven the room up. Building unity will come with help from having company uniforms. Other ways to build unity are through the company logo design, incorporating both the Florida culture with Illinois will help. The fact that trophies are there from the plant sport teams is alright, but it shouldn't be seen as the main point of pride for this new company we have. There should be company teams that are created with both Florida teammates and Illinois teammates merged. There should be teams in both city leagues as well as leagues we create within our own company. Every member of our company should be required to participate on one team. Teams will be of all backgrounds. No more slang terms for employees either. The only slang term that we should allow is MEs. This is for macro enterprises. We are one team. No more segregation of old, new, southern, northern, black, white. There will be a team building camp that is mandatory for employees to attend. There will be a ropes course, communication tasks, and obstacles that are paid event for macro enterprises. This is another way to help build unity because thus far, steps have not been taken to integrate employee groups. Finally, to help with problems in our culture, there will be a uniformed orientation process. We at Macro Enterprises should preach unity. We do the same things, the same time, the same way. Notice I say we. This is because even though I am hired from an outside firm, the sense of pride and passion Macro Enterprises needs to exert should go to those who are only helping the firm from the outside. I have a sense of pride in this, so employees should too. There needs to be an orientation process that happens for all employees. Things that would go over are what to do if a machine breaks, where and when to tell the foreman, what to write on clipboards provided, where and how to provide comments about the organization. There should be trainers that are hired to train employees. Macro Enterprises would benefit from this because the tutoring will be more thorough. The orientation process should outline how new hires are introduced to procedures, who selects the mentors, and how it happens. Building an orientation process will help promote unity and increase employee satisfaction because it will be a common factor that all employees go through, giving them something they can all relate to and build memories off of. Well, you may be asking yourself, how will human resources being a strategic partner solve these problems? It helps a number of ways. First, if human resources were a strategic partner working with the CEO, complaints and ideas would be able to be run by CEO immediately. If there was a problem in some aspect of the company, HR would know about it and be able to stop it or solve it before it escalates. Problems that escalate create chaos. Chaos hinders productivity. Next, in order to help you, Pat, make sure you know that human resources is much more important than anybody would ever give you credit for. Human resources being a strategic partner would be able to bring the company together. You must lead by example. How would macro enterprises expect to tell their employees that unity and team building are important, yet not have unity at the highest level? It is important to lead by example. Having unity at the highest level will help employees to buy into the mission and vision that macro enterprises is trying to accomplish. If it is understood that HR is a strategic partner with the CEO, then employees have a common ground on how to learn what the CEO is looking for. Finally, human resources being a strategic partner will increase the culture because macro enterprises must remember, you win with people. This means that without the use of their employees, no matter how small the job is, the company would fail. Investing in their employees will allow macro enterprises to prosper. A counter-argument to this is that machines are really doing the work, and you shouldn't have to invest in employees to be successful. To disprove this argument, though, all one must say is, look at the production since our merger. It's not where macro enterprises is expected to be. The machines are no different from Florida and Illinois, but things are not running as smoothly. This is because people are the difference maker. Human resources is all about people. Investing in human resources to be a strategic partner is an investment in people, which turns out to be an investment for success at macro enterprises.